It started in a small-town workshop, the kind of place where the smell of motor oil lingers in the air and the sound of tools hitting metal is a constant rhythm. There, working late into the night, was Daniel, a 25-year-old mechanic with grease on his hands, but a heart that was clean and pure. Daniel wasn't rich. He didn't own much beyond his tools and his stubborn determination to fix what was broken. Cars, motorcycles, even old bicycles. If it had wheels, Daniel could bring it back to life. But one evening, something different rolled into his life. Not a car, not a bike. A girl. Her name was Emily. She was just 19. She had been in an accident a year earlier that left her unable to walk. Her family couldn't afford a proper wheelchair, so she used an old, rusted one that barely worked. Every push forward was a struggle. Every outing felt like a reminder of everything she'd lost. When Daniel first saw her outside the grocery store, struggling to get over a curb, he didn't think twice. He rushed to help. As he lifted her chair, he noticed how the wheels wobbled, how the frame creaked, how unsafe it really was. "Who built this thing?" he asked softly. Emily gave a weak smile. "It's the only one we could find. And the only one we could afford." Something inside Daniel shifted that day. Fixing cars was his job, but fixing her life, even just a little, suddenly became his mission. For the next 3 weeks, after long days at the garage, Daniel stayed late, sketching designs, welding parts, and piecing together something he had never built before, a custom wheelchair. Strong, light, smooth, not just functional, but beautiful. It wasn't easy. He sacrificed sleep. He skipped meals. He even sold one of his old tool sets to buy better materials. His co-workers thought he was crazy. But every time he imagined Emily struggling with that broken chair, he worked harder. Finally, one chilly morning, he wheeled it out of his shop. A sleek frame, soft cushioning, wheels that glided without a sound. It was his proudest creation. When he showed up at Emily's door, she couldn't believe it. This is for me?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Daniel nodded. "Try it." Emily placed her hands on the rims and pushed forward. The chair moved effortlessly. Her face lit up with a smile so wide it seemed to erase a year of pain. She spun in circles, laughed through her tears, and then suddenly she stopped. She looked at Daniel with eyes full of gratitude. "You didn't just build me a wheelchair. You gave me back my freedom. And here's the twist, the part that would break anyone's heart." As she spoke, Daniel's hands shook. He quietly slipped them into his pockets, hiding the fact that his knuckles were raw, his fingertips blistered from nights of welding and grinding. He didn't want her to see what it had cost him, because to Daniel, it wasn't about recognition. It wasn't about being a hero. It was about giving her something she thought she'd never have again, independence. But then Emily's father, who had been watching silently from the doorway, stepped forward. His eyes were wet. "Son, I work at the city hospital. We've been trying to design affordable chairs for kids like Emily, but the prototypes keep failing. What you just built, it's better than anything we've seen. Would you consider working with us?" Daniel's mouth fell open. He was just a small-town mechanic. But suddenly, his late-night act of kindness was about to ripple far beyond Emily. Within months, Daniel wasn't just repairing cars, he was designing wheelchairs, affordable, durable, life-changing. Emily wasn't the last person to smile because of him. She was the first. And here's the part you'll carry with you. Daniel once thought his purpose was fixing broken machines. But in truth, his gift was fixing broken spirits. Emily's life changed the day she got that wheelchair, but Daniel's life changed even more, because he discovered that the greatest thing a person can build is hope. Daniel didn't expect fame, and he didn't ask for recognition. Still, word spread through the community about the young mechanic who built a wheelchair from scratch for a girl he barely knew. Neighbors dropped by his shop just to shake his hand. Parents of children with disabilities came to see if he could help their kids too. At first, he felt overwhelmed. He was just one man with a small garage. But then volunteers showed up. Friends, former customers, even strangers. They brought scrap metal, donated materials, and offered their time. What started as one act of kindness turned into a movement. Emily often came by the shop, not just to thank him, but to encourage others who were waiting for their own chairs. She told her story with a confidence Daniel hadn't seen in her before. She wasn't the girl trapped by her broken chair anymore. She was the girl who inspired a mechanic to change lives. One evening, as Daniel watched her roll across the parking lot with ease, he felt something stir inside him. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like just a mechanic fixing problems one bolt at a time. He felt like a builder of futures. It was then he realized that kindness, once set in motion, doesn't stop with one person. It multiplies. Emily's smile sparked hope in her family. That hope inspired Daniel, and Daniel's courage inspired an entire community. Months later, at a small town ceremony, Daniel stood on stage with Emily by his side. She handed him a plaque that read, "For building more than wheels, for building hope." He looked at her, then at the crowd, and simply said, "I only wanted to fix one chair. I never thought it would fix me too." And in that moment, everyone understood. The true weight of a gift isn't measured in money or effort, it's measured in the lives it lifts up. That night, Daniel locked up his shop, glanced at the grease on his hands, and smiled. For the first time, he knew exactly who he was. Not just a mechanic, not just a dreamer, but a reminder that in a world full of broken things, there will always be someone willing to build hope piece by piece. Because sometimes the simplest act of compassion doesn't just change a life, it changes the world.